was nice, the party was jumping. Hey, yippee-yi-yo, and everybody having a ball. Ho, yippee-yi-yo, until the fellas start the name calling. Yippee-yi-yo, and the girls respond to the call. I heard a woman shout out, who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out?
Hey there, everyone, and welcome to Chaos. I am your host, May. This is the wrap-up of May and Monte's training adventures. So this is going to cover the last week of training from Monday to Friday, which was the ceremony at the end. It is not the end of the podcasting. It is not the end of the May and Monte story, the M&M team. Nope. Oh, far from it. This is just the last training podcast. And boy, was it... it was an interesting week, I will tell you that. So first off, I also want to say to those that are reading the blog entries, I am like so sorry. It is so far behind that it's going to take me forever to catch up. And I do have to catch up because, again, on who Monte's puppy raisers are, it's definitely beneficial that I catch up. Because I don't think they can have access to the podcast part. But if they can, hey, more power to them as well. At the moment, the podcast is still more up to date than the blog. It is still waiting on day number 11. So that gives you an idea of how far behind I am. But it will be caught up, honest. I just got to now find time to do so. It just speaks lots about the class that I was a part of, that the whole group was just awesome. The training was great. And just at the end of the day, you're like, okay, I'm tired. And by the time the alarm went off, like my plan was either do it at night before I went to bed or do it the next morning before I did the next training session. Well, by the time my alarm went off, that is when I remembered to set the damn thing, I'm like, I'm not, my brain cannot function to put my blog entries into order. I have things written down, so I know what goes where, but yeah, kind of cliff notes, so to speak. But yeah, that's a boring kind of blog entry. Yep, this, and this. Okay, that's kind of boring. Bullet points. Yeah, no. Anywho, so on with the podcast, the end time, the final stretch. So on Monday, we had our bus route. That was cool. That the leader has a bus stop right outside their school now, which is really cool. So like, in from my house, I'm like, hey, I can go to Leader now. Okay, not whenever I want, because it's definitely going to be one hell of a transportation to go from where I live all the way to Leader. Could be done, but it'll be an interesting travel time. I may have to speak with him about it. I'm like, if I want to do this, I may have to stay over one night, just because of the timing of all the buses and whatnot. So I'll have to see if they'll let me do that. Do it every other month or every few months or whatever. Just pop in, hi, and just stay over and do whatever. Maybe that one day I might do it and Monty and I can get a quick brush up or something. Anywho, so Leader actually has a bus stop right outside campus now, which is really cool. And we all rode the bus. The fun part about this route, I will get to in a moment. But we did it all as a group. And that was our first group lesson. All of us, we all went out. Not one at a time. Or in teams. We're just all big one group. So all 10 of us. No, 9 of us. I believe it was 9 of us at that time. That did the bus route. So my goal for this one, since we were doing it as a group, was to see how Mr. Monte handled being behind a team that had a guide dog. Because I also, go visit people and they have guide dogs and whatnot. So let me see how my dog is going to be when we're traveling with another guide dog team. because he's very assertive and he likes being out front. He likes just getting up there and going. So I made him be behind. Oh, he was not pleased with this whatsoever. And because he is very good at making it known what he's doing, I can feel what he's doing through the harness and the leash. And when he is looking, it is very much noticeable. So it's like, okay, are you sure? You're definitely looking around. And when he does that, it actually like makes me dizzy. It's like, oh, dude, slow down on your looking. I'm getting seasick. But because I had him behind, he's like looking and looking. Who can I sneak around? No, not happening. You are staying behind the group. And you got to learn to be patient and be behind. Oh yeah, he huffed and puffed at me the whole time I made him stay behind, at least for one street crossing. The next one, somehow we ended up at the front. I don't even know how we got to the front. He was at the end. How we got to the front, I do not know. I still don't. Like, wait a minute. We were in the back. How did we get to the front of the line at the corner? Okay. But we did. And so, well, we led the next block. I'm like, okay, fine, whatever. I'll let my doggy have this block. So it was me and another 2 people that, were in the lead. Monty was still slightly ahead of the other 2. He was quite fine with that. And then we got to the next corner. We crossed it first. And we let the others catch up. And I held him behind again. I'm like, no, you are going to be behind, sir. And so I put him at the end of the line again. This is where the great race began. And it was hilarious. So I let him be. Everybody else went ahead of us. And Monty said this time, hell no. I am not having any of this. Monty wove and weaved and skirted around all the teams that were in front of us until we got to his siblings. And his siblings, if you don't recall, that's Evie and Aloe are his siblings. And we got up to them. And apparently Evie and Aloe were already having a race. Aloe finally pulled ahead of Evie. And the race was on. It was great. We were cruising along, and I made it up to Evie. I was like, hey, it's our turn. And it was great. And eventually we passed Evie. Like, bye, Evie. And we got up to Aloe. Aloe was having none of it. He would not let Monty pass at all. Monty was looking. Left, right, let me through. And Aloe's like, nope, it's mine. You are not getting in front of me. So the race of the siblings, Aloe was first. Monty was second, and poor Evie came up third. It was a very close race and lots of fun. The dogs still kept us very safe. It didn't get like super silly and unsafe. It was a safe race, but quite hilarious. The race happened from the 3rd block going up to the training center. So the last leg going up to the training center at Leader. So that was the great bus stop race of the siblings, and it was a whole lot of fun. I do have that on video, but for whatever reason, iCloud is being a pain in the patootie, and I've not been able to pull that off yet. And because I did want to make that a clip, part of this clip, so you'd have the audio description. So if at some point I can get iCloud to stop being stupid, and I have that, I will definitely make a podcast and have the audio description of the Great Sibling Race, because it was really cool. So moving along, the next day we had Detroit. And I always like to go for the reason because it is a city. So you get to see the city work and construction and people, depending on where we are, lots of people or not a lot of people. You get broken sidewalks, get to do the people mover, and all of that. So I'd like to at least do the people mover at least once, because, hey, I don't go into Detroit that often, so, hey, cool. And the people mover, for those that may not know, think of a train up in the air. Those in Canada think of, Vancouver, is this a skyline? I think that's what it's called in Vancouver, if they still have it. So like that. It's like a train up in the air. And so this time, I actually wrote it all the way around. I'm like, I didn't even know half these stops. Were all these stops still here the last time I was here? And one of the stops we came to was like Grand Circus Park. I'm like, hey, I know that stop because that's where the D2A2 bus is. I know those of you from Michigan would be like, or not from Detroit or whatever, like, what? So sorry, getting a little technical. But the D2A2 bus is the one that I can transfer over to from the Michigan Flyer where I live that goes into, and it can connects with that bus. And that bus goes to that stop. It's like, hey, the People Mover's here and that stop is here. I'm like, I know this stop. But anyways, Monty and I did the People Mover, and Stephanie's like, all right, got options, and she's like, which route do you want to do? And she gave me some choices. I'm like, we're going to go this way because the other way is too much freaking noise with construction or whatever the heck they're doing across the street. So we're going to go the other way. And I'm glad I picked that way because it gave me a chance to see Monty with obstacles galore. Oh my God. And broken sidewalks. And okay, let me tell you about this route. Okay. It's quite the route. So we had broken sidewalks. We had construction vehicles. We had food cartons on the ground, like open pizza boxes, and we passed a food bag that, oh God, the smell was horrendous. We passed a dead pigeon. Blech. Seriously, a dead pigeon. Again, blech. Oh, and Monty didn't even look. I was like, oh my God, the smell. And Stephanie was like, that was a dead pigeon. I'm like, bleh, gross. Ew. And Monty did great. He ignored all of that. We got to the corner and we had to make a left turn. And at that left turn, Stephanie told me there was a pole there. There was a food bag with food in it. A pizza box, an empty pizza box on the ground, a whole lot of things that he would have to take me around to get me on the sidewalk that where we needed to be after we made the left cutback turn. And he did great. He didn't even look at the bag, probably because of the smell. I probably wouldn't, no. He ignored it and the pizza box and cut the corner really good to make it so I didn't hit whatever the obstacle was. So he definitely got a treat from that route. And further down the line, we had also cars that were kind of parked really close to poles and things that were along the sidewalks. It was a broken sidewalks where there were big cracks and big steps that I had to take. And it was quite the route. And he shined very well. Like he got lots of love and praise and treats on that route. He did really well. And that showed me, we also passed another dead animal. Blech. Just, what the hell's with who would leave the dead animals on the sidewalk? Like, there's all the sighted people walking around here. Can't you just clean that up? Ugh. No, apparently not. So anyways, minus the dead animals and the food cartons and bags, also disgusting, left all over the ground, it gave me a chance to see Monty work on really broken sidewalks, because I do have at least one of those by my house where it can be a tripping hazard. So I'm glad I had picked the route I did, because it gave me a chance to see Monty shine, really, and not just the obstacles here or there where he could just zig and zag and take me around them. These ones, he really had to be careful. And he's a very cautious, assertive guy. And I love that about him. Whew. So that was our Detroit run. And just wow. Let me see. Other big one. Oh, so Thursday. So Wednesday wasn't anything big. Oh, actually, nope. Let me take that back. There was another one. I'm not sure still to this time. We did another route. It was a park, a really nice park. And it had ducks and a pond, and it had, I almost said donkeys. Oh my God. I'm stuck on donkeys for some reason. It had deer, and it had chipmunks and all sorts of things. And Monty did a really good job. We were doing the route once. We did it, and he did a good job, and he got distracted. I was like, and we were close to the water because I could hear it. And I'm like, now, is he distracted because of the water, or is he distracted because of the ducks? Never really figured it out because I got him back on track. But he definitely wanted to go to one or the other. I'm like, no, I don't have on swimsuits, and we're not going swimming in that water because it's probably very, very gross. So we'll leave the ducks and the swimming till some other time. And the second time I went to do the route, because I'm like, let's do the run one more time. I decided, let's see how he does if I'm kind of sort of paying attention to him. You know, 'cause sometimes I'll walk and I'm listening to music just because we're walking. And it was a safe environment. It's again, you're walking along, like hiking or whatever. You want to listen to music or something. So I did that. Yeah, he took advantage of that. He's like, we're going to cut this short, and I'm going to go over here to the ducks a little early. I happened to hear one of my teammates go, I felt him turn. I'm like, wait, I don't think this is right. And I heard one of my classmates say, May. I'm like, yeah, I don't think so. They're like, you turned. Oh, well, whoops. So that was that part of the adventure too. Monty will. It's like, no, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that. Yeah, you little booger. I will also say, I do not like roundabouts. But they did show us those as well. I have never done a roundabout, ever. Not even with a cane. I don't think, as far as I can recall, that there are any roundabouts here where I live either. If so, I'm going to try to find a way to avoid them at all costs. I do not like them. Nope. Again, it's one of those, I wanted to see it, because never know. Might run into one someday, and I know, how the hell do you cross these things? I am still confused on how do you cross those things. Like, baffles the mind. You don't read it like you normally would a street crossing. It's like, okay, whatever. I'm sure if I did them on a regular basis, maybe. But the leader's like, no, we don't recommend. Like, if you can avoid them, because they're not safe. So, yeah, I am of that opinion. I do not like roundabouts. Monty and I will not encounter them, at least at home. We won't encounter them. If I go places, that's probably another story. And I would hope that when I'm doing it, I'm with people that know what the hell they're doing, or we're with a sighted person, and the sighted person can help us get across the damn things. Because otherwise, skipping. Then, the most important day, we have reached the end. Our ceremony. Our ceremony was really awesome. It was my second graduation ceremony. The first one was done back in 2019. And the difference with this one is they didn't do, like in the first ceremony of 2019, the very first one leader had, I think it was the client's, I'm not sure who the heck did it, but there were pictures of the guide dog teams actually working and doing stuff along their routes. And like, because, we give them permission. Yep, you can take our pictures and so on and so forth. And it was really cool. They took our pictures and showed different pictures along the route. They made it into a video clip. And it was really cool. They did not have that this time. That showed special moments or funny moments or whatever. They didn't have that. And that was a really special thing that I thought, anyway, for 2019. So that was missing for this one. Not to say that this one was not special either, because it was. So we had lunch first. The ceremony part started at 12:30-ish. Only thing I would have to say is now that the ceremonies are virtual, so people can connect virtually and watch, is I think they should switch it from Teams to like Zoom or something, because Teams is just not the best platform. From what I've been hearing since, from what I've been hearing since they started the whole virtual ceremony thing, the Teams is just not the best, especially when they're trying to find the chat portion of it. I'm also not a big fan of Teams. Zoom is okay. I actually like Zoom better than I do Teams. And I meant to mention that in my exit and totally forgot that Teams is just, it's a pain. Anyways, so outside of that, they had any technical issues with Teams. Some people couldn't find the chat. And then of course couldn't unmute people because they couldn't figure out how to unmute themselves. So a few technical issues, but hey, what's technology without issues, right? Outside of that, the ceremony was great. Had some tears, had some laughs, had some dogs that tried to run away. All the clapping. Oops, sorry, doggies. But it was great. It was also very hard to say goodbye to everyone when that time came, because Monty and I did leave after the ceremony, and it was hard. That day was very hard. It's like, oh, it's time to go home. Our 3 weeks are now up. The end of the road for being in training. So we cut the apron strings, but I enjoyed every moment of it. And I have a really, really awesome puppy. I will be back to tell you how things go, but introducing Monty to the household and how he settles in there. But this has been a great experience. I'm glad I also podcasted this time because it ended up being the one more up to date than my blog. Again, I will get that updated. So just keep watching it as well. Again, the blog is at www.mayanderson.net. And any comments that you want to make, you can definitely do it there. You can reach out to me via email, which is may@mayanderson.net. And I will definitely be in touch. We'll be doing another podcast, so don't think this is the end, because it is not. It has been loads and loads of fun. And I will talk to you another day. Until then, have a wonderful day.